4 strategies to get your clutter out of your house for good. Hi guys, this is Diane of Minimize to Maximize, where we explore how to minimize the clutter in our life and how to maximize what's truly important to us. And so in this video, I want to talk about how to get the objects that you have decided do not belong in your life anymore, how to get it out of your house for good. Because you may have been in a situation where you have worked really hard to declutter a closet, a cupboard, a bedroom, an attic, your storage container, and it turns out you still have all the stuff weeks, months, sometimes years later. And bit by bit, all these objects that you had made decisions about have made their way back into your life. Either because somebody discovered them from your family, like, oh, what's that? What's in that box? Like, oh, that's cool, that's useful. And bit by bit, you're like, I wonder if I made the right choice. I wonder if let me see what's in there. What did I put in there? And then you're like, oh yeah, that's useful. Oh yeah, I really like that. And then you bring it back. Or it sits in a box, unused for sometimes years, sometimes decades. That's the case of some of my clients. And then you second guess yourself and you're like, well, if I kept it for so long, it's probably I need it. Probably it's useful. Like, let me double check. Do not second guess your decisions. If you've already decided that you are not going to use it and that it is not either very helpful, very useful, or it doesn't bring any kind of emotional happiness and joy when you look at it, like it doesn't really matter to you as much as it did, then just let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. So how do we do that? In my short video earlier this week, I talked about 4 strategies. Number 1, sell your clutter. Number 2, donate. Number 3, give it for free. And number 4, recycle and trash. Now, that seems pretty easy, pretty simplistic, but there is a little bit more involved here. Let's talk about selling your clutter. Now, a lot of you think, well, if I don't want it, nobody's going to want it. It's now junk to me. It's now crap. And you are most likely wrong about it. It's not because you don't want something that somebody else may think it is junk or clutter or trash. You will be surprised. I have been surprised so many times about what sells and what doesn't sell. But before we talk about selling, I want to allow you to not even do that step altogether. You do not need to sell your objects. You don't. Why? Because you've already spent the money when you made the decision to buy it in the first place. The money has already been spent also if somebody bought that object for you as a gift. The money is spent. It's a decision of the past. So give yourself the guiltlessness, I don't know if that's a word, but allow yourself to not feel guilty because you spent a lot of money buying something that you are not using and enjoying right now. This was the you of the past. Now you're different. Let go. It's okay if you don't recoup your money. It's okay if you thought that collecting several Barbie dolls or different antique objects do not actually bring money to you now that you're ready to let go of them. It's okay. Let it go. But okay, you have decided to sell the objects. First of all, ask yourself if you really have the time to do that. How long is your list of to-dos? Because if you have a long list of to-dos, know that selling is yet another to-do, and it does take time, and it does take energy, and it does take a little bit of skills. So be honest with yourself. Is it worth your time in the season of your life? If you've decided, yes, it's worth my time, then corral all the objects that you have decided you want to sell. Make sure they're all in the same place and area so it's easy for you to process and sell them. And so the way you're going to corral them, you can put them in a closet, on a shelf, in a container. You can put them in cardboard boxes. You can put them in a corner of your garage, close to the exit. It needs to be easily accessible, and it needs to be close to the exit, meaning the front entrance of your house or your garage door. Or you can also put them in the back of your car if that's easier for you. So once you have corralled all the objects you're planning on selling, give yourself a timeline. Be realistic and be quick with this timeline. And I give myself a week to 1 month maximum to sell. If I haven't taken the time to sell it, or if the item has not sold, then it's going to still leave my home without having sold it. And I'll explain later. So it needs to be a quick timeline, because the longer you giving yourself, the most likely it is that the objects will end up being there for weeks, months, years, and sometimes decades. I have seen that in my home organizing work with clients. So be fast, be quick, be decisive. And a decision for me is to sell locally and locally alone. I have tried in the past to sell on eBay, and I have sold some objects, but the time it takes for me to package my item, to print the label, to put all the tape, to drive to the post office, to do the proper shipping, all of this is time that is too valuable for me to spend on shipping. So that's one reason. But the other reason, which is also very valid for me, is that I do not see the point in shipping something to the other side of the US when maybe the objects are going to be flown or in a cargo ship or in a truck, and it's going to use a lot of fossil fuel. It's going to be polluting. There's all this packaging that I've added, and it sounds a very ridiculous way to sell and to give an object. So I sell locally alone, and my radius is really 7 miles away from my home. So I sell on Facebook Marketplace and my local buy and sell Facebook groups that I belong to. So I take photos of my items, I give it a description and a reasonable price for my local community, because it matters to me, not so much that I make a lot of money, but more that the object is going to go to a home that is a place where the object is actually going to get used and not stored away for a long time as yet more clutter. So I sell locally alone, and people come to me if they want to pick up the object. So I don't go drive around. I don't have that kind of time or interest. So that's me and selling object. If it doesn't sell, after a week, I drop the price. And you can drop the price a couple times a week. Give, let the weekend pass, and if the weekend has not shown any potential buyers, then drop the price. And I drop the price again, and I drop the price again until the price is so low. If it hasn't sold, then I am willing to give it for free. But I want you to know that some objects will be selling really quickly. And I have been so surprised about what actually sells fast. And others might not sell at all. And that's also okay. Once again, remember that the money has already been spent. And the object is only a reminder, or it's only the consequence of decisions made in the past. It's okay to let go of them completely. So I've made quite a bit of money selling my clutter and it's been wonderful, but no, it takes time. It takes time. And some of the objects that I thought would sell did not. And so I am okay to give them for free and donate. So how do I go about donating? That's my point number 2. Donate your clutter. So let's say you decide to bypass the selling process altogether. You know it needs to go. You put your clutter, your donations, into the back of your vehicle so that next time you drive around near a local thrift store, you can drop off your donations. It needs to leave your house straight away. Once you have decided, I'm going to donate it to a thrift store or my local church or a local charity or a food bank or whatever it is that you know would use or be interested in receiving donations. Do know that a lot of organizations, nonprofits, and thrift stores are associated to a cause to help others, to help the environment, to help animals, and your donations is a great potential source of income for them. So you're doing good by donating your objects. And do not filter yourself. Give everything to the thrift store or the donation center and let them decide what they think is going to be potentially sellable. And they have better resources also to maybe donate what they do not plan on selling to maybe other organizations, other churches, other homeless shelters where maybe the standard for selling is different, and your objects can still be used and sold in other places, or at least discarded the right way. So donate, donate, donate. And same thing if you have tried to sell an object and it's not selling in your local community, be okay to put the objects in the back of your vehicle and drive to your local thrift store next time you run an errand, or try to do it as quickly as possible. Don't give yourself too much time. It needs to be done and out of your house really quick. If you've already made a decision that you do not want the object. If you do not have a vehicle, which was my case when I lived in London, if you lived in a big urban city, most likely you are using public transportation. And so you have to carry your objects on yourself. So put your donations in your backpack, in your shopping bags, and put them by the front door of your house or apartment. And next time you go and run errands, drop those off at your local thrift store. Okay? What else am I missing about this? Oh, also if you want to donate objects that are big and heavy, like furniture, or just things that are just weigh a lot, or you have a large quantity of objects, give a call to your local donation centers your local thrift stores, your local charities, and ask if they would pick it up. And most likely they would. Sometimes they do it for free, sometimes they do it for a small fee. But even in my local country community, we have access to that with our local thrift stores. So it's very easy. Number 3, give your objects for free. Okay, you've decided, or selling is no longer your thing, or you've tried and it didn't work, or you have tried and it worked really good and you still have objects that didn't sell. You do not have the time to go to the donation center, and your local thrift store and donation center doesn't pick up objects that you need out of your house. Well, you can give them for free. I have done this with some very busy clients. We have decided, okay, we have this large quantity of very heavy, fragile objects, or just very bulky objects, or there is a lot of donations, boxes and boxes. Let's put them in front of our house, of your house or my house, and we put the objects with a free sign next to it, and surprisingly enough, a large quantity of those things actually disappear because you put a free sign and you were willing to wait a day or 2 or 3 for the local people to check out the things you want to donate, and some of them take a lot of things. And I think it's a good thing. So you have saved some time, and maybe you do not have a vehicle, maybe you do not have a local thrift store in your area. So what are you to do? You can put them on your curb or in front of your house with a free sign if that's allowed, and don't leave it for too long, just a few days, because we don't want the front of our house or apartment building to look all trashy. That's not really cool. So just try it for a few days, and surprisingly, we've done this with one of my clients, and I suggested to her that she would take a photo and post the photo on Facebook Marketplace and the local buy and sell groups, saying free curb alert and the address of where the objects are. And within 40 minutes, all of her donations were 100% gone. So it can be a really quick process. And so I have tried it, especially if you are in a busy area, your objects can be gone very quickly. And if you have still things that are left, you can still go to the donation center, to your local thrift store, and give your donations. And you can still decide, okay, none of this is going to be used again, like think old magazines and things like that. Then maybe it's time for you to do number 4, which is recycle and trash. It is my least favorite part of decluttering. Oftentimes there is a lot of trash. If something's being damaged by mildew, by dust, by pest, nobody's going to want something that is potentially a health hazard. So unfortunately, you're going to need to either recycle it or donate it, or trash it, sorry. And by trash, it ends up in landfills in your local area, but most likely it will be shipped to another poor country, most likely in Asia, and it's going to pollute other people's environments. So that's why I'm very keen on trying to get the objects to be used over and over and over again by different people until they are too worn out to be of any use, and then it will end up in a landfill somewhere. sadly. But that is the way it is with man-made objects. A lot of them end up in landfills. So to recap, 4 strategies to get objects, clutter out of your house for good. Sell, donate, give for free, which I forgot to say, you can give to your friends and to your local community. You can make a phone call to a family in need and see if they would like to go through your donations. And for recycle and trash. The goal, once you've made the decision to let go of an object, the goal is to get it out of your house as quickly as possible. Do not second guess yourself. Now, if you've looked at other of my videos, I've talked many times about the process of choosing, making that decision that's right, with clarity and with no regrets. Please check out my previous videos, because that is really the first step in this entire process. And to summarize it quickly, it's either yes, I keep, no, I don't keep, and oh, maybe, I don't know, I'm a little bit unsure. So if it's yes, I keep, that's easy. It's already in your home. If it's no, that is the wrong finger, but okay, that's going to be number 2. If it's no, I don't want it. That's what needs to get out of your house very quickly, within a week or a month maximum. And the number 3 is maybe, I don't know, I'm not ready yet. That's okay. So don't make the decisions and don't put it in your clutter to-go pile if you're not 100% sure of yourself. But I teach you on how to do it, so subscribe to the channel and watch my previous videos to help you make those decisions. Guys, I hope this was helpful to you, and I hope you are able, through this process, to create more spaciousness in your space, in your home, but also internally in yourself. And that's what letting go of objects that no longer serve us does for us. It is very freeing and very beneficial. Remember, what brought the objects into your space, into your home in the first place, is most likely shopping, consumption, saying yes to things that you should have said no to in the first place. So let's keep that in check always, so that we don't end up this cycle of acquiring more clutter, acquiring more excess, and having to do that process over and over and over again. Thank you so much for watching. Please share this video. This YouTube channel can only survive if you think that the video is worthy of being shared with other people, or for you to comment and like on it. If YouTube does not see any kind of action after you've watched this video, it's going to think this is useless information, and so the information is not going to be shared to more and more people outside of your local sphere of influence. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.